What if you and I had a dream school? Ano kaya yun? Would it have dinosaurs like experiments? Little things that become big. What if we could suddenly see invisible things? Would it have a giant heart or a big, big brain? Fly us into outer space. May sagot sa ating mga tanong, pero tuturuan din tayo magtanong. Okay lang din magkamali, so that we learn so much more. Sa dream school natin, learning is never boring. So it's an adventure. How do we do that? What do we do? With the power of science, art and imagination, all the wonders you will find in the mind is school.
Let's learn all about our amazing world dito sa Mind is Cool!
Fisher, why are you playing with lights?
I'm pretending to experience one of the things in my bucket list.
I think I know what you're talking about, Fisher. Because it's in my bucket list too. Aurora Borealis ba yan, Fisher?
Yes.
Let's do an Aurora dance party!
Sige.
Yay!
Ang saya, di ba? Pareho pala tayo, Mikey. Nasa bucket list natin na ma-experience ang Aurora Borealis. Ito yung magaganda na sumasayaw na ilaw na makikita sa langit sa mga lugar na nakapaligid sa North Pole. Sa South Pole naman, yun yung Aurora Australis. Iba kasi ang ganda niya, di ba? Hindi siya ordinaryong klaseng liwanag. It looks otherworldly. In fact, later we will see that it really is out of this world. Kami ni Mikey ay mga scientists dito sa The Mind Museum. Ang tawag sa amin dito ay Mind Movers.
Dito sa Mind is Cool, we make sure learning is always an adventure. In the past weeks, we learned about the 3 states of matter. But today, we are on a very weird mission. And that is to find out if it is not liquid, solid, or gas, then what is it?
And for this adventure, we remember that our Mind is Cool song says that we will take you on a learning adventure. Samahan niyo akong kantahin.
With the power of science,
art and imagination. Well, that means that we can call our very own Imagine Airwaves. Buckle up, kids, because we're going to Australia via special effects. Hello, everyone. We're here now in Australia. This is one of the very special places on Earth where we can see the polar lights or aurora. To learn more about that, we will talk to Dr. Fred Watson, the Mind in Residence at the Questacon, a science center in Canberra, Australia, which is what you see right behind me. It's really nice, isn't it? Hello, Dr. Watson. Thank you so much for joining us here at Mind is Cool to tell us more about the aurora.
Thank you very much and welcome to Australia.
What is the Aurora Borealis and Aurora Australis?
Well, the words mean the northern and southern dawn. They're words that have been used a long time to describe these lights that we see in the sky not too far from the Earth's north and south poles in the Arctic and Antarctic regions. Their appearance depends on the circumstances under which you see them. They can be just a thin green band of light across the sky, or they can be like shimmering curtains of light, once again usually with a greenish tinge to them, that move not rapidly, but quickly enough that you can actually see the changes taking place in them. What they look like is dependent on actually the exact amount of energy that is going into them. And if they're very energetic, then you will get something called a corona, which is an auroral burst directly overhead, which effectively fills the whole sky. They are very spectacular.
Why does this kind of light only show in certain places in the world, especially those around the poles?
So the reason why we only see these lights near the North and South Pole is because of the Earth's magnetic field, which effectively is at its most intense there. So the lights themselves are caused by subatomic particles from the Sun, which are accelerated by the Earth's magnetic field near the northern and southern poles. And they then interact with the atoms of the Earth's atmosphere to create the lights. The interaction of these highly energetic subatomic particles with the atoms in the Earth's atmosphere is what makes them glow. And in fact, it's the oxygen and nitrogen in the atmosphere that actually glows when we're seeing the auroral lights here. The red is oxygen at very high altitudes, the green is oxygen at lower altitudes between 100 and 200 kilometers above the Earth's surface. And if you see purple, that's lower down still, and that's caused by molecular nitrogen being excited by very energetic particles from the Sun.
You mentioned plasma, which is a very weird state of matter, often called the fourth state of matter. Can you tell us more about plasma? Where does it come from?
It's a great word. And all it means is a gas that is electrically charged. If you have a gas that has been excited somehow, then the energy is often absorbed by the atoms of the gas losing their electrons. The electrons are normally associated with the gas, but once that happens, once you lose electrons in a gas, then the gas adopts an electrical charge and becomes what we call a plasma. The solar wind itself is really a plasma. It's a stream of mostly electrons and protons that are emitted by the Sun. That wind is blowing through the solar system all the time. Sometimes it's more energetic than others, depending on the state of activity of the Sun. And it's when that stream of particles, the solar wind, becomes most energetic that we get the aurorae. And one day we might generate electricity from plasma because there is a process called nuclear fusion, which we hope will eventually allow us to generate electricity very cheaply, and that relies on a plasma to make it work.
Wow! So in a literal sense, the aurora is really out of this world. Amazing. Seeing the aurora borealis or aurora australis is in the wish list of many humans, and I'm one of them. I hope to experience it one day. Thank you so much, Dr. Watson, for helping us understand the aurora australis and aurora borealis. Oh mga bata, ngayon alam nyo na ang aurora ay binubuo pala ng plasma na madalas nating tawagin na fourth state of matter. Pero alam nyo ba na ang plasma ay pwede din nating tawagin na first state of matter? That's because plasma makes up more than 99% of ordinary matter. Most of the matter in the universe, stars, stuff between stars, nebulae, are mostly made of plasma. Ang alam natin na matter, na solid, liquid, at gas, ay mas kaunti pa sa 1%. Nakakamangha, di ba? Okay, time to call Imagine Airways so that I can go back to my museum. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll gear up to meet another very weird, very mysterious state of matter.
Hey, teacher, welcome back. How was your Australia visit?
It was so cool, Mikey. I was able to learn about a very weird state of matter called plasma. By the way, this kind of plasma is very different from the plasma in our blood. Instead, this is a state of matter that happens to atoms when they are in extreme conditions.
That's great, Peter. You came back just in time because we're about to have an experience with the opposite. An encounter with an ultra mega super duper cold weirdness. Sandali lang, may kukunin ako.
Ooh, what do you have there, Mikey? Oh, jackets.
Yes, so para di tayo ma-OP or out of place, let us wear our special power coats.
Game ako dyan, Mikey. Let's go to the coolest place we can find here and with special clothing.
Sobrang lamig, Peter. I hope we get to see Bose-Einstein condensate or BEC soon.
Yes, Mikey. It's really hard to see BEC. It's such a rare, exotic, and very weird state of matter. But this kind of temperature is really the place that BEC likes.
Hello, mind movers. Thank you for coming to meet me here. Are you sure you can handle chilling here with me? You know I need very special conditions to exist.
We prepared for that. That's why we're wearing these special superheating coats to survive in your environment with temperatures very close to absolute zero or negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. As humans, we can only tolerate maybe a few degrees below zero and with a lot of protection.
Thanks for making the effort to see me. I can only exist in those ultra mega super duper cold temperatures. In fact, two scientists, Satyendra Bose and Albert Einstein, had predicted me in the 1920s, but the technology then did not yet exist to prove that I am real. In these temperatures, a group of atoms can condense to become, well, me, and I behave as one and not as many atoms, which is not at all what happens in normal states of matter.
That is so fascinating. It's like when you have these many balls that can represent many atoms of the same element. They are all over the place in normal temperatures, but close to absolute zero, all these atoms behave as one.
Yes, and it was only in 1995 when we finally had the technology to prove that this mysterious state of matter, this very weird state of matter, is possible. It is when scientists Eric Cornell and Carl Weinman made a sample of BEC.
My great experimenters. Thanks to them, people know I exist because they proved it. Their work was really difficult because I'm not easy to make. It takes a lot of energy to make temperatures drop this cold.
Absolutely. If our cooling appliances, like air conditioning and refrigerators, take up a lot of energy to cool our foods and houses, imagine how much energy it would need to cool to near absolute zero.
We wish we could stay longer and chat with you, BEC, pero sobrang lamig na talaga. It's too cold here. Thank you for meeting with us to show us that even if we try to classify things in nature like states of matter in everyday conditions, there are things that do not fall in these categories, but they are also real. So thank you, BEC.
It was very cool to meet you, mind movers. Great chilling with you, Mikey and Peter. Bye-bye.
It was so amazing to learn about very weird states of matter like plasma and BEC. Now it's time to answer the questions you sent in.
So if the states of matter are solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and BEC, are there any more?
So far in science, there are 4 states of matter that we can normally observe. There's solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. And of course, there's Bose-Einstein condensate or BEC, which we met earlier. Baka meron pang iba, depende sa mga future experiments. In fact, some scientists are proposing additional states of matter called neutron degenerate matter and quark gluon plasma. Both exist under extreme conditions. There are also the in-betweens like liquid crystals, like those in your LCD screens. These are in between being the solids and the liquids. But you should not get frustrated when nature cannot be strictly classified. Instead, dapat mamangha kayo lalo that walang tatalo sa nature when it comes to being imaginative. How nature behaves is what comes first before our own opinions and beliefs. And discovery is really good in itself.
We have another question from one of our awesome Mind Schoolers.
Is matter everywhere in the universe, and is matter everything in the universe?
Napakagandang tanong niyan. Simula noong Big Bang, about 13.8 billion years ago, ito na ang mother of all diaries, ang diary ng universe. Dito natin mababasa ang kwento ng universe mula sa simula. And this is a diary written in light. Lahat ng mga planeta, bituin, asteroids, at iba pang heavenly bodies na pamilyar tayo sa everyday experience ay binubuo ng matter. Science is still chasing a deep mystery. Kasi kahit anong compute ng scientists, kulang pa rin ang matter para ma-explain ang paggalaw sa universe. Halimbawa, kapag tiningnan natin ang pag-ikot o paggalaw ng mga bituin sa isang galaxy, mukhang marami itong laman na hindi matter at hindi pa natin nakikita sa ngayon. In fact, scientists think that matter only makes up about 5% of the universe. About 27% of the universe is made of dark matter, which is not just matter that is black in color, but is something that is not matter. We do not understand yet what it is. But it goes even deeper than this. Kapag binasa ng mga scientists ang diary ng universe, dito nila nakita na bumibilis ang paglaki ng universe. This is what we call accelerated expansion. Tila may isang energy na tumutulak sa mga galaxy palayo. Ito ang tinatawag ng mga scientists na dark energy. Dark dahil hindi pa natin alam kung anong klase ng energy ito. Dark energy makes up 68% of the universe. Mikey, ano nangyari sa'yo?
Laging sobrang namamangha ako, Fisher, kasi kapag naalala ko that matter is only 5% of the whole universe and 95% hindi pa talaga natin alam. Sa 5% pa lang ng matter, sobrang dami pang pwedeng ma-discover about how they can change under different conditions.
Yes, Mikey. And not only that, there are many things in the universe that are not even things because they are not matter. But they are a very important part of the universe. Isa na dito ang light o ilaw. Isa din ang tunog o sound. Isa din ang forces. Ang light, sound, at forces ay hindi kumukuha ng space at walang mass. Isa din dito ang magnetic field na konektado sa aurora na pinag-usapan natin kanina.
Oo nga no, Fisher. And these things, light, sound, and magnetic fields, they are everywhere.
Yes. And it is also very inspiring to know that science is always chasing after mysteries para mas madami pa tayong maintindihan tungkol sa mundo natin at sa universe. Hindi yata matatapos ang pwede ma-discover sa nature. But we should not give up because understanding can help us create a better world. Kung walang science, puro hula lang tayo at opinyon na walang ebidensya. Gamit ang science, mas naiintindihan natin na tunay nga na nakamamangha ang nature.
At alam mo, Fisher, hindi lang scientists ang namamangha sa nature. Artists also have a very special response when they are inspired by nature. Like plasma or BEC, there is an art style that does not look like the things that we see in everyday life. This is called abstract painting, and that is what we will explore next, after the break. When you are in the water, in the mountains, in a farm, or anywhere where you and nature are getting along so well, what do you feel? We have artist Rico Lascano with us today to tell us about how nature influences him and his work as an artist. Hi Rico! Thank you for visiting us here in Mind is School. Tell us, how does nature inspire your work?
Nature has always been my inspiration when I'm painting. A quiet pond, a waterfall, or the heavenly skies. Anything that will make you want to stop and reflect on life. And when I think of those images of nature, it makes me calm and I want to visualize it in my paintings. Look at this painting. I painted this one when I'm thinking about clouds. This is what you call abstract art. It barely resembles the real thing. But this is the emotion that I want to visualize.
Oh, so different nature experiences evoke different images in your head?
Yes, Mikey, you're right. An artist tries to paint the emotions that he feels whenever he experiences something. For me, I really love painting the different shapes and interactions of these emotions. That's why they are called abstract art. They really doesn't represent real things in the real world, but it basically represents feelings and emotions. Like when you paint a realistic painting of a dove, a flying dove, well, what you see is a flying dove. But when I translate this, flying dove into an abstract painting, it could represent so many meanings depending on the experience of the viewer.
One of your artworks was inspired by a science poem. Would you tell us about that and what inspired you about it?
Yes, as you can see, this is the painting that was inspired by that poem. The poem is called Considerata, and they talk about how all of us came from this light, from the universe 13 billion years ago. And there's a sense of gratitude and calm that for now, I am privileged to have this gift of time and space.
Thank you so much, Rico, for sharing your insights and work. It really revealed that science can inspire art.
It was really inspiring to see how scientific insights can move artists to create works that tap into our deepest emotions. Napaisip tuloy ako, Mikey. We have an image that visualizes the excitement we have in our learning adventures.
Ah, yes, Fisher, and we have that here. I'm ready if you are.
Oh yes, Mikey. It's time for the coolest meter! All our learning adventures are super cool, but we've come up with different types of cool. We have mind-blowingly cool, mysteriously cool, and inspiringly cool.
Our rating for today's adventure is...
Mysteriously cool!
We had so much fun learning with you all today. Thanks for watching.
Our next learning adventure will be about being alive. What is life? Where and when did life begin? Do other life forms like plants and animals talk?
Please share your answers, thoughts, or questions about that or anything about the show on our Facebook or Instagram at MindSchoolPH. Or you can send us an email too. We'll share some of your submissions on the show.
See you next time dito sa Mind is School,
Where learning leads to a better normal. For more fun science and art videos, subscribe now!